Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is STJFL Grand Final Day, where yesterday the weather was somewhat inclement. It was very unpleasant conditions. Today, luck is a fortune. The sun is shining here at the home of football. Magnificent conditions for what is the biggest day in the biggest competition of the year. Nearly 4,000 kiddies run around week in, week out. It's STJFL Grand Final, and it all comes down to the under-15 boys that are just settling down in their positions now. You can see in the red and black hoops of Lauderdale and the traditional white with the red slash of Clarence. I am Andrew Silverfox Hopwood, and we're very much looking forward to bringing you this big game. It's going to be a tightly contested match, been very even throughout the year, and already today we've had a couple of fantastic games already. You wouldn't believe it, in that first game, the undefeated Clarence, for all money, they looked like they were going to win that one, and North Hobart surprised them with immense pressure that can happen within a grand final. In the last one, North Hobart evened the score, so 1 to North Hobart, 1 to Clarence, and this one between the boys from the Eastern Shore. The formalities are done with, and all the talk is over. It's time to put it down to action as the boys go out to their positions. And there is the Lauderdale team that's come up before us. They've had a pretty strong season. They've gathered momentum through the 13s, 14s to culminate in them making the grand final in this the big dance. They had a fantastic game last time against Clarence, and Clarence were too good with 8-13-61 to defeat Lauderdale 7-6-48 in the last time they went round. Lauderdale came into the game first of all. They got there, they had to come through the repechage, did Clarence boys. They did that with aplomb, did a very good performance, and so it's going to be very, very close today, the encounter. And joined in commentary with me is Darryn, Perry and Pezza. We've been looking forward to this game. We spoke a lot about it during the week. They've been pretty even throughout the competition. I think it's 2 wins to Clarence, 1 to Lauderdale, but Lauderdale got there the direct route. So who do you favour?
Oh, look, I think if Lauderdale went the direct route, they'd start favourites. They've had the week off to freshen up, but Clarence are a very proud club, and they'd want to bounce back this week as well. So, yeah, pretty even sort of contest, I reckon, Hoppy.
Yeah, it's been a great day so far, and we got ourselves off to a fantastic game early with North Hobart, who were definitely the underdogs. They were beaten by 10 goals by Clarence in the second semi-final, and they came back. And that's what finals, and if anyone knows about finals, it'd be your very good self. The pressure in a grand final can be different, can't it? You know, the tackling from North Hobart, they showed the way, and it's going to be interesting to see how some of these young men prepare themselves for the encounter.
Absolutely, you know, finals pressure, it's different to during the season, and you really need to be on song in a grand final.
All right then, so they're in readiness for the first quarter. 20-minute quarters, of course, in the under-15, and also in the next game, the under-16.5. These are just facing off now. Magnificent conditions, especially from yesterday, Pezza. It was just outrageously bad. We can see Coach Broomhall, of course, Broomer, the 41-year-old ex-tradesman, and now he's a work readiness project officer, has taken this group all the way through from Auskick through as Clarence get their hands on the ball first. Good work there by Richardson, who gets it out. It's been cut off there by Rowlands. Rowlands goes further afield to that handball. It's close to the line and it out of bounds. So good pressure there by Clarence in the early stages. And another thing I would have thought, Pezza, is just the capacity to settle into a grand final, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, those early fumbles, you're gonna have those early. You've just got to keep focused and make sure you still keep your intensity at the ball and share the ball around with each other and just do all those little things that are important to win the game of footy.
Certainly is. As Lauderdale now a little bit scratchy, but they get that one with momentum going forward as they throw the dice and come back in through the corridor position. That's always dangerous when you're coming off that half-back flank line. Clarence trying to mount some pressure. The long locks of Lauderdale free-flowing, gets it inside 50 for the first time. They were trying to find young Dolliver. Dolliver's going back in to get it again. He provides a shepherd to have Hovington come through. Hovington almost stopped in his tracks through the weight of numbers there by the Roos in defence. And with that pressure, it has gone out of bounds.
Hovington certainly showed a great turn of pace, didn't he, coming through that half-forward line there? He looks like a dangerous sort of winger, half-forward flanker, isn't he? Yeah,
you know, he's had a pretty good season, yep. Pez, and he's one of the go-to people, I would have thought, one that can potentially, you know, get him a score. So another boundary throw-in. We are 137, and it's fantastic. The good support from Parmick Fire Protection, Tyre Right, and Diagrind, some wonderful Tasmanian companies have got on board to back these young Roos. And again, just held up in that one, as you just said, and another ball up.
Fierce tackling by young Saul Henderson. He's a strong-bodied young fella, isn't he? He's even got a beard, Hoppy.
He was always fearsome, wasn't it? I remember that when I played in the Sunday comp against Risdonvale. All those kids over there, they breeded them tough, and you knew when you're under 13s and the bloke had the big black hairy legs and the beard, you're in trouble. Anyway, the ball's back in the middle. It is under 15 STJFL football. That one's kicking it off the ground, and you've always got to protect the player who's prepared to go the ball. And Clarence, on this particular occasion, have been rewarded. It goes down, and another really close contest. They were very much looking for young Brick there, who couldn't take it. They're getting their hands on the move, or Lauderdale. They're going forward, held from behind, and the umpire has seen that one. Just caught from behind, I thought that time, Pezza. That was young Zach Swan.
Yep. He's got to get in front. I mean, the game's played between both half-forward lines, isn't it? Both back lines are holding up really well at the moment.
They certainly are. It's the early stages of the grand final, under 15 division. 3 minutes gone, and there is Lauderdale. We thank very much the Skybus, who, of course, a major national company who have moved into the state and providing wonderful service up and down to the airport. Why would you bother taking your car, Pez, when you can get straight on the Skybus and go door to door?
Absolutely. Great to see an organisation like that sponsor a local footy.
So it's close to the line, and again, that was Tommy Pears who was trying to evade and couldn't do so. A little bit slippery, and it's gone out of bounds. Actually, the ground's come up quite well now, Pezza, and we've had a bit of sunshine on it because it was reasonably slippery early and a little bit chopped up from yesterday's game.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty firm deck out there at the moment, so yeah, the conditions are perfect for football. Both sides playing the defensive part of the ground, though, Hoppy. You know, they really need to come on this top side of the ground if they want to kick goals. So it's going to be low scoring if they continue to play that side of the ground. They need to get the balls through the middle of this side of the ground to create scoring opportunities.
Gee, that was nice tackle there by Dolliver inside the forward 50. He goes back in board. He heeded your advice, was probably a little bit slow on the way when he got that ball off. And backing up there is Nichols, taking a very nice mark. Nichols now going directly down the line.
Nice mark.
It was a very strong mark, and decides to play on to the quick lead. Coming out trying to take that one was Maxie Skelly. He can't do so. And it is Connor Ryan for the Roos, who's backed up the young fella with the helmet on the bonce. Clarence now coming back inside. All the play at the moment is on that defensive side, as our learned colleague has said so, and it is very much harder to score from over there. So with nearly 5 minutes gone in this first quarter, it is a 0-all draw at this particular time. Oh, man in front almost paid, but he's just come over the top, and there was a strong effort there, Pez. It was rather courageous, if you like, to take the mark from behind.
Yeah, you're always told if you're backman to behind, punch the ball, but he backed himself in and took the mark.
Oh, terrific smother. But Clarence were there in numbers and taking a very nice leap there. What a vertical leap that was by Ryan again. what about this pressure already? The smothering these 1%ers, and it almost gives an opportunity for Dolliver. Dolliver's quickly at the back. He goes on the inside-out check side, and he's put it through, Pez, for the first goal of the day.
Yeah, terrific play by Lauderdale. They're really working hard from the back line up there. They're giving Clarence nothing up there, and great play by that crumbing player then.
So it was good work by Dolliver, and we can see here on the Mood Food replay, he read that one really well. He got on his bike, didn't he? And he was quick to get boot to ball, and these kiddies practice these across their body kicks, don't they?
They certainly do. I mean, we never did those when we were younger, did we, Hoppy? It was always the drop punt.
It was the drop punt on the wrong side of the body, but I guess if you can do it like that, why wouldn't you do it? And so Lauderdale draw first blood as we check the JMC Motor Car Company scoreboard. It is Lauderdale 1 goal straight 6 to Clarence yet to score with 6 minutes gone in this 20-minute quarter. Good ball up, very even contest. It's picked up by Brycey Alomes, the young fella who made his tracks down here, the country fella from Triabunna. But now it is in the forward line. And just checking on this ball, now it is Clarence who picked that one up. Clarence go deep into attack. It's gone over the top, and it is a goal. Gee whiz, terrific play there, Pezza. I'm just trying to work out who's kicked that goal.
Yeah, it was great play, wasn't it? And it's the first time that Clarence had penetrated Lauderdale's strong backline. Very good play by Clarence. They moved the ball a lot quicker than Hoppy.
They certainly did. We'll probably have a look at the Mood Food replay in just a minute. It might have been Hine Haycock, I think, who had got it, and that has levelled the scoreboard up. They got plenty of open space there, didn't they? It was almost like the forwards sort of let out, created space over the back, and that's where they kicked that ball.
It's such a small ground like North Hobart, you need to really keep your forward line open to be any chance to kick goals, and that's what Clarence did then.
So it was a good tap out there by Owen. Slipping over at that time was Alomes. Now it's done by Rowlands, who's been pretty influential. And here's this young fella, Dolliver again. Dolliver swings and goes quickly. There is the open forward line that we spoke to. Clarence just try and get that one out at any cost, and they've gone for the safety of the boundary line. I'd much prefer it there than in the goals, and it'll be another boundary throw. And they seem very evenly contested all around the ground.
Yeah, they do. I think everything's pretty even. I mean, obviously the score's even as well, but just in general play, you know, both sides are competing well at the contest. You know, there's no side that's got an advantage at the ball ups or anything like that. It's a really even competition at the moment.
One would suspect Pez should go down to the line as that ball is kicked directly through the centre of the ground, picking it up and charging through, but didn't get their way out on that. It was a nice pick up. Here they go again. It's Dolliver who picks it up. He made good possession. Bit of friendly fire by Clarence, trying to barge their way through off as they get it out. That was Hine Haycock again, going around the defensive side, but it's very offensive because they got the run on to Clarence as they get it in. Look at this. Over the back, really got a good sense of it.
Wow.
Has the shot towards goal. I think that might have been Kemp who's put that one through. The tall forward.
He looks dangerous, Kemp. Doesn't he move well? For an under-15 kid, the way he read the play, knew the ball was going to go over the back. He moved quickly, very agile for a tall guy, and quick movement from the back line by Clarence. Open forward line, goal.
Yeah, I like that. It's well drilled by those young men then to lead forward and for the courage, if you like, to kick over the top to space as we see here. And look at him get on his bike quickly.
Yeah, he looks very dangerous. And a nice little kick too. You know, just a little cross kick across the body.
Was young Tristan Sculthorpe. He thought he was doing the right thing, Pezza, by staying in front, but he was turned on a 5-cent piece, and well played by Clarence. And they've now got the advantage. Is picking it up. Well played there by Menzie. Menzie needs some assistance. Another really good tackle. There was Pears on the bottom of the pack. He's going back in again, Menzie. Very courageous type of player. You can see here he's working his way towards the ball, just willing himself over it.
Tackling by both sides has been really good, Hoppy. Like, they're going low, they're going at the hips. It's quite fierce, but nothing high, so they've been really disciplined, both sides, with their tackling.
Another pretty even bounce. It's Lauderdale who pick it up. Now that's openness again. It goes over the top. Who's first to get to the ball? They keep it in. Coming back to an area of danger as Dolliver has a shot, but I think it might have just been...
through.
Yeah, good, well played. Good team play by Zach Swan to try and get it back into that area of uncertainty and a defensive position there for Clarence, but it was already through.
Oh, nice mark.
Gee whiz, coming over the back, that was Owen. Owen now, probably not his best kick.
No.
And it's coming out with a bit of interest. I think that might be Hooker who picks it up, Fletcher Hooker. He's trying to just gain some valuable meterage, but it's gone out of bounds and another boundary throw in. So, very even contest. It's halfway through the first quarter. As is always the case, Pez, you can't win them from the first quarter, but you can certainly lose them if you drop a couple of early goals. As that was a nice handball out by Ryan, who's got plenty of the ball. Comes back towards Lauderdale's advantage. They're working their way toward that line. It's very close, but Clarence keep it in, and they get the kick around the body as it goes towards Henderson. Henderson, then he's backed up by Hooker, trying to barge his way through. Clarence have the numbers, and it's a little bit scrappy over there. I'm sure they'll both try and get it out into that open spaces, and cutting across, coming hard at it was Sculthorpe, and he sees the safety of the boundary line and another throw in.
Yeah, both teams have come with real high intensity, haven't they? They've both matched their intensity. So it's a ripping game that no side has got an advantage either way regarding the intensity and the way they're going about their footy. So it's going to be a real close contest, I'd say.
Good tap out there by Owen, and Lauderdale standing firm. That's a really dangerous kick to come back through the middle to a 50-50 contest.
They've got it on the right side now. If they can make something of this, Lauderdale's going to be a lot easier to score from out here.
So it was Henderson who got it down. It was a nice handball from Skelly. Skelly back over, and that was unselfish play by Lauderdale. That was a much better passage of play, because they almost got the blinkers off and looked to switch it. Yeah, they got a bit more space on this attacking side, didn't they, going through there? When they go on the defensive side, it's just too crowded and they can't penetrate Clarence's defence. They open them up a little bit then, so that'll give them a bit of confidence. So a lovely long kick in. It's close to the boundary line. Picking it up there was Bryce Alomes, who's been pretty good down back. He did a great job in the best and fairest, was runner-up, and we can sort of get a sense why. He's very stoic down there in the defensive half for Clarence. Now coming forward is Hovington, who we know can show a little bit of toe. Did a good job to keep the ball going, and it's picked up, I think that might have been by Dolliver. He's very dangerous around that forward line, Pez. He is dangerous, isn't he? He gets in the right spots. Here's a chance now for Lauderdale. If they can get the handle on that ball, they do. They kick it over the shoulder, and there he is, Hovington again. I love the way there it was his, not only his second ever, I reckon it was his third and his fourth. Yeah, he's got a lot of pace, hasn't he? He hits the ball at full speed, which you want to be, and he's got that momentum which gets him through the pack. So, you know, he's a player that is coming off the wing by the look of it too, Hoppy. So he runs deep, he runs hard, he's got plenty of pace, and he's had a really good start to the game. There was good pressure there from Max Skelly as well. You can see he placed 2 tackles in that passage of play, and it's the forward pressure to hold the ball in there to give yourselves an opportunity. You can't afford the defenders to run the ball out, and so Lauderdale did a really good job there. As we check the JMC Motor Car Company scoreboard, it is Lauderdale 2-2-14 to Clarence 2 goals straight. Clarence now, they have the ascendance as they pick it up, kick it to the advantage, going to that half-forward flank now. Very strong play coming out by Rowlands. He just sort of pushes his man aside, only knows one way, does Rowlands, and that's straight ahead. He looks like an old-fashioned defender, doesn't he? Nice and tight, hard at it. And we can see there, our sponsor, I noticed all the Lauderdale players, they got the big red Sky Bus in. It was great to see the Sky Bus park outside, and all the players got off, all dressed beautifully with the suit and tie, and went down and got changed together, Pez, and they certainly do it well down there at Lauderdale. Now it's back to Hovington. Look at him. He get it on. He's almost going to be caught now. That's a very long raking kick under a bit of pressure, and it's going close to the line, but he certainly breaks the lines, doesn't he? He certainly does. As I said, he's coming off the wing. He's got that ball at half forward, covering a lot of territory. So I think the Clarence coach need to have someone run with him for 10 minutes, because he's certainly creating a lot of problems for Clarence at the moment. So even contest as we would have expected. There's no doubt about that one. The last time they met, as we said before, Clarence got their nose in front 61-48. Prior to that it was 52-49, and before that 32-52. So it's been very even throughout the year. As Lauderdale there in front, it was Hooker, but deemed to be held off the ball and Clarence to take the free kick. They now going long over the back. I think that was some interference as trying to attempt to take the mark. Didn't come down with the ball and interfered. That was Corbett. Comes back now to Lauderdale. Nichols gets that ball in. Drifting across the pack gracefully, but couldn't take it, was Aziz. And it comes to the bottom, and again, those small forwards are doing a really good job to hold that ball out and keep the ball in the 50, Pez.
Yeah, they've certainly, I reckon over the last 5 minutes, Lauderdale have got a bit of momentum, haven't they? They've had a lot more of the footy than what Clarence have. Haven't heard them on the scoreboard, but they're certainly controlling the play.
So they're really running hard now as Nichols has got a couple of possessions within that last minute that will certainly bolster his confidence as that one went forward and but it off the hands, and another score to Lauderdale. Of course, in the junior ranks, or any ranks really, any score is important, but it's not as free-flowing. It can be held across those half-back flanks as Hein Haycock is there at the bottom of the pack. Well picked up again by Lauderdale as they screw it further afield. Gee, that was really lovely below the knees by Broomhall. Broomhall gets it in. Oh, clever play to try and get it again back to that area of uncertainty where Skelly comes out. And Skelly, I mentioned in the last passage of play, Pezza, he put those almost 2, nearly 3 tackles on. And this time he's been rewarded and he's going to have a shot on goal. Yeah, strong tackling. He's a real goer, isn't he? You know, he's out and about and he makes a lot of things happen up in that half-forward line, young Skelly. So he's a dangerous player that Clarence would want to watch as well. But Lauderdale sort of controlling the play. They've got to start hurting him on the scoreboard now, make the most of these opportunities. Very, very good closing speed. Let's have a look at his kick towards goal. It's going close, but it's just gone to the side. And wow, isn't it so crucial? Just thinking of last night in the AFL, watching Brisbane. I thought Brisbane mauled Richmond early in the game, but of course they didn't get the score that well, we can't say they deserved because they missed their opportunities, and you've really got to make them a winner, don't you, especially in these big games. Well, they can cost you games, and you know, there's no coming back next week for these guys. They've got to make most of them today. So coming down the offensive side of the ground, it's where there is a very, very large crowd here, ladies and gentlemen. Below the commentary area, all the terraces are full. It's a great atmosphere, and these kiddies, they'd be absolutely thrilled to be playing in front of everyone like this. They wouldn't have done it before, Pez. No, look, it's a big crowd. I reckon there's a couple of thousand here. I mean, I've been to these junior finals before, but I've never seen as many people as today. It's a great thing to see. Certainly is, as Clarence now going forward. Doubling back, it's Rowland's under a bit of pressure, and he does very, very nicely to keep his mind. Have a look at that for a pickup. Terrific work, but the tackling pressure by Clarence was very elite as Kemp tried to hold that one in. We know this man's got the afterburners on as Hovington couldn't quite get it, but he's being helped now. He turns around, he kicks it over his shoulder. Up they go. Hotly contested ball there. That was Ned Shaw who went up for it. He can't get it, but we know he's going to go in hard for it again. Good tackle there by Lauderdale. Comes loose. Shaw again trying to supply the block. There's been a whistle on play. Yeah, good play by young Shaw, wasn't he? Just focused with the ball all the time, went in really hard and got rewarded. I've seen a fair bit of his brother Oscar, who's playing both for the Devils and for the seniors, and he's this sweet baby-faced boy, and he's a terror the way he goes in for the ball, and that's just like Ned. Slight of body, but he puts everything on the line as that one is close, and the tackling is really starting to pick it up. Both teams there with fantastic pressure, and Shaw again at the bottom of the pack. He's helped by Pears. Handball's out now, and Lauderdale just inching that way forward. It's close to the boundary line, and it's Brick who taps it, and it's going to be another throw-in. It's fierce, isn't it, out there, Hoppy? For under 15s, the way these young fellas are throwing their bodies in, it's a credit to them. Gee, that was a very, very clever tap over the back. Great whack work there by Zach Swan. Got it into the outside corridor towards the running Shaw, but Clarence were awake to it and applied a couple of tackles. So can they score with only a couple of 20 seconds odd to go? Oh, look at all the defenders down here, and backing back, taking a nice mark was Marriott. Young Hovington was on then. The player could have passed the ball to him, and Hovington possibly could have ran in open goal, and a missed opportunity then there again by Lauderdale. Yeah, that wasn't disciplined play, was it? No. They just sort of bombed it. to an area where there's all but 3-on-1 as the siren sounds for quarter time here. And Lauderdale just in front. They are 2 goals, 3-15 to a very, very accurate Clarence, 2 goals, 12. The goal kickers for Lauderdale, it was Hovington and Dolliver. And for the Roos, it was Kemp, and we think that other one was Hine Haycock, Pez. And so what did you make of that first quarter?
Oh, it was a terrific first quarter. A lot of pressure out there. Both sides have come to play. The intensity is really high. I just thought that Lauderdale probably had a lot more of the footy. They didn't hurt them on the scoreboard, but momentum was going Lauderdale's way. When Clarence went forward, they looked dangerous. I mean, the big guy up there at full forward for Clarence is, he's going to be a real worry for him.
Kemp.
Yeah, Kemp. He looks very dangerous. So at the moment, Lauderdale just slightly on top. They're getting a lot more of the ball than what Clarence are. So, it's going to be a real even game, I can see. If Clarence start getting more of the ball in the middle with their dangerous forwards, it'll make it a lot more interesting. But very even game so far. All
right, well, now's your opportunity to quickly nip out and get the kettle on, as we're going to take a very, very short break here from North Hobart, and we'll be back with the second quarter action of the under-15 grand final in just a few moments. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the grand final for 2019. It's Lauderdale in their traditional black and red hoops, and Clarence with their, that's almost the Stay Chatty Guernsey with the red and the blue down the bottom. It's Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood, joined by Hall of Famer Darryn Perry, and Pezza, a very, very even first quarter.
Yeah, very even first quarter. Both sides have really playing good footy. It could come down to the last 5 minutes in the last quarter, Hoppy, the way these sides are going about it. Very fierce competition. And, yeah, both sides playing good footy.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to hold your composure, and it is almost like a bit of an arm wrestle, it can be said, for the first few quarters. You just got to hang in there and then really make your mark. As it's a great day, the grand final day. You can see people, if they only come for one day, they'll make their way out. You've got grandparents, uncles, aunts, any relations, friends from the community come and have a look at their young kiddies who represent their club, and everyone is doing that very nicely, as Shaw, who was at the bottom. Can you imagine walking down the hallway at the Shaw household when you got young Ned and Oscar coming at you?
Yeah, they're both tough kids, aren't they?
Certainly are, as the ball now comes over the top. Lauderdale slightly held, but then I think it was fair enough to play it on. That was Beatson trying to get his hands on the ball, but Clarence come away very nicely with an excellent pass. They swing around and move the ball very quickly. Goes over the top that time of Clark, and Lauderdale are about to mop that up at half back, and that's a really strong mark by Howlett.
Nice kick, beautiful pass.
Oh, wow. Gee, that was good direct play, wasn't it? It was strong hands over the top and leading out Skelly. And Skelly, terrific in front of his eyes, has taken that mark.
And Clarence didn't do that before. The forwards just stood behind their backman, the Lauderdale opponent. Lauderdale getting in front in their forward line, leading straight up the ground. With a shot on goal.
So it looked like to me that was all but a little bit over the distance than young Skelly could make, and it's just been tapped, and it's going to be a boundary throw in. But it's deep into the attacking area, early stages of the second quarter. Lauderdale have the ascendancy at this stage. Not prepared to pick the ball up as Dolliver screws that one over, and almost like a goalkeeper. Luckily there, smartly, shrewdly, Clarence were right on the line being able to take that mark. It's Lauderdale over the back, picking it up. Well played then by Rowlands. Over to Shaw, one of the absolute prime movers. They seem to have a few numbers behind the ball there, Pez, Clarence.
Yeah, they do, and but they can't get it past half forward, can they? Lauderdale's backline's been superb.
Good handball over by Mead. Trying to bend down. He's a very strong fellow, young Noah Mead. Back in towards the centre of the ground. Oh, here they go. If they can get their handles on that, they've got the wheels. Great pace. darting that ball forward.
It's a nice kick, wasn't it?
Oh, gee, that was terrific play.
Bit of movement by then, Clarence. You know, they had a lot more space to run into. The Lauderdale defenders had pushed up high, probably a little bit too high, and got caught out over the back.
So it is Murrell. Murrell now, small in stature, but accurate in his kicking. Lovely kick on goal. He's kept his head nice and straight, his hands low, and kicked through the ball. And he's put it through for the first goal of the second quarter.
Yeah. Missed opportunities once again by Lauderdale. They've had 6 scoring shots for 16. Clarence have only had 3, yet Clarence are in front. So it just goes to show you've got to make the most of those opportunities going forward.
Absolutely. There is no doubt about that. You can win everywhere. You can have the most possessions. You can have the most time with the ball. All of that. But at the end of the day, it only counts if you have the score on the board. Pretty simple stuff, but that's the reality of it. As Shaw gets a bit of a tap out here towards Henderson. Henderson screws that ball back, but Clarence, they back and take a very nice mark. Goes out towards Hein Haycock. Picking it up now, driving it again is young Will Broomhall. Bounces to the side. Clarence there. They're doing that very nicely, actually, Pez. Always seemingly to me there's someone at the back prepared to take that handball.
Yes.
So now you can hear the crowd really getting involved. Fierce contest as Broomhall gets the tackle. Pulled it back as I think that might have been Brickick trying to escape the clutches, but nice work there by Broomhall to try and stop that play. Big, strong tap there by Clarence Ruckman, again, not giving an inch. And it's
fairly even at the stoppages, I'd say. Hoppy, both sides working really hard in the stoppages. No, I guess, advantage either way. Nice tap. Yeah,
it was a good tap. Shaw's there. Can't get the handle on that one, but it's socket off the ground by Beatson. Here's a chance. They try to give the old don't argue handballs back to a 3-on-1. Maybe could have got on the old left foot. It's easy from the commentary tower, but it's Beatson again. Handballing over, but Clarence have that one at the last line of defence. They're doing that so well.
They've got the old goalkeeper back there, haven't they, Hoppy? He's worried about his opponents just pushing deep into defence, and it's saved them quite a few times.
It has saved them, absolutely. I think they're doing it well, and maybe that's something that Supercoach Broomhall might have to look at.
You might have to put someone deep to stop that fella running out of that back line like that.
Because it's actually not a defensive position, is it? It's more offensive as... well played there by Sculthorpe, comes in, overrunning it Dolliver. Again, they're able to get that loose man in Blake Marriott, kicking it out towards the wing position. Running hard is Richardson, gets the screw around the body, but it's lovely work, and that might have been Hovington who picks it up. He's dispossessed there by weight of numbers by Clarence as they get it inside their 50, but a very, very timely mark by the defender there for Lauderdale. Just kept his eye on the ball.
Yeah, lovely mark. Under pressure too.
Gee whiz, there were 2 there from Lauderdale. Who was that? That was Howlett and Owen. And they probably didn't talk as well as they should have.
Oh.
And out of absolutely nothing, something has come for Clarence. So I think this is going to be their goal kicker, young Thomas Murrell, who's got it.
Yeah, he's playing front there, hasn't he? He presents well. I mean, the tall guy obviously should be the target up there, but he's not scared to present himself when he has to, and he certainly did on that occasion.
Well, if you do play in front, there's every opportunity that someone has to come over the top of you.
He's got a good kick on him.
Have a look at that. He has just sized that one and put it straight through the old high little diddle. And Thomas Murrell, in the blink of an eye, has got his second goal, and Clarence now with a little bit of a gallop on. With Lauderdale had all the play, but Clarence so accurate, 4 goals straight, 24. Lauderdale 2 goals for 16. And there we can see on the Mood Food replay that
beautiful kicking style.
Kick for goal. Well, already he's only had a couple of touches, Pez, but he's got 2 goals.
He's dangerous. Yep.
Very, very dangerous as the big ruckman go up. That's Hein Haycock, and they're getting it to the advantage of Clarence, and it's slight danger signs here. They're starting to get a bit of belief. Their efficiency inside the 50 has been absolutely wonderful as Nichols has gone there, and there's been a little bit of lip, I reckon.
chirping at the umpire. I mean, the free kick was definitely there. He was obviously frustrated. You know, he was overzealous in his approach to the ball. Made a mistake. Get on with it. You can't afford to give away 50-metre penalties.
And Clarence have just popped that one through. You get the high fives.
Got to switch on now, don't they, Lauderdale? Not get sucked in or lose their focus. As I said, the free's definitely there.
Well, you can see there that the Clarence player absolutely didn't have the ball, and that was McMahon. It was McMahon's kick, and he was able to, what was a 50-50 shot at best, I guess, be walked right into the line. So now it is Lauderdale on 2-4-16, trailing Clarence 5 goals straight, 30.
Isn't it amazing? They've kicked away. Lauderdale probably had most of the play in the last 5 minutes. Clarence have got the momentum and have scored quickly, very quickly.
And that is the danger sign, isn't it?
It is,
with the pace that they've been able to score. So Lauderdale, they're going to try and arrest this play now as they take possession in the centre of the ground. They do come out the attacking side. There's been a whistle on play.
Another undisciplined act.
Oh dear. That's really coming a little bit apart here, Pezza. I didn't see that. I think after the kick, just wanted to have a bit of a show of strength, and there was no need for that.
No.
And so Clarence are rewarded for another inside 50, and down it goes, and oh, that's a strong mark. Oh, they thought it was touched, and so he decides to play on anyway. It goes over the back, not attempting to mark Devine on that particular occasion. Maybe, again, Lauderdale players could have said, you're clear, mate.
Yep. Just uncertain. He did the right thing.
Oh, absolutely.
He was unsure, but
absolutely.
A bit of talking would have helped.
So Clarence, they're trying to pick it up. Good strength, trying to push that forward. They need someone to show them the way forward. Get their head over the ball and drive it in now as Clarence pick it up on the half-back flank. Goes towards that wing position.
Clarence's backline's been terrific the last 6 or so minutes, haven't they? They've really stopped that flow from Lauderdale.
Yeah, they've been strong across man on man, and not only that, it's probably more Blake Marriott down back that's been the loose, and he's been so attacking. It hasn't been a defensive way at all, as Dolliver there is a really good tackle as he pulled him in. He wasn't going to go anywhere, and there'll be another ball up. Taking the ruck now is Owen. Owen up against Hein Haycock. They've had a really good tussle. Bit of wrestling going on down in front of us, and this time I think Lauderdale are the recipient of the kick. Get the Bronx cheers from the Lauderdale fans. It's Hamish Menzies.
It's a nice kick.
That's a really good kick. Leading out. Almost in the modern day chopping of the arms, wasn't it? Could have been paid that way, but umpire decides to have it play on, and that's fair enough as Jake Kemp. He's got 3 against him. We know he's a pretty good player, but he's up against with the numbers there. It's close to the boundary line, and the ball coming in. So just a little bit undisciplined in the last couple of minutes, and frustration of having all the play, Pezza, but not getting any reward. And then all of a sudden, Clarence go inside their 50 just twice and get the 2 goals.
Yeah, but obviously frustration, but they've just got to get their mind back on the job, which they have now, and they're starting to win a lot more of the footy now, aren't they, the last couple of minutes? So. But Clarence, they're on a bit of a roll. It's going to be very interesting.
All right, another free kick comes to Clarence. They drive it into the danger area. Up goes Kemp, can't bring it in. Well played. This is dangerous, coming back inside over to Hooker. Hooker again, he's under enormous pressure, and that's young Will Broomhall. You can hear he's beset upon. Hooker was good enough to go back and recover that one. Needed a mark, couldn't take it. Comes over the back to Bluey Mallison. Big kick now by Clarence. They just bludgeon that forward with no system. And the defence stands up nice and tall, and that was Kobe Howlett. Now they've got the numbers on that defensive side. Further afield, comes out to Dolliver. Dolliver, I really like the way this young fellow plays. And in they go. That's a really good mark taken by Swan. Backing back, he had no idea what was coming from behind. You'd like this mark, Pez.
Yeah, very good mark.
Yeah, that's a very courageous mark.
Swan and Skelly are 2 good leading forwards for Lauderdale, aren't they? You know, they both look really dangerous. They just haven't put it on the scoreboard as yet.
Well, here's a big opportunity for Swan. Just taking his time over the kick. Awkward kicking style.
He's got it.
But it doesn't matter what it looks like. If he can repeat that, time after time with accuracy, all the Lauderdale fans will be absolutely cock-a-hoot. And Zach Swan puts through his first goal. You can see with quite long, extended arms.
Yeah, they both lead forward. You know, they get in front, and good targets for the midfielders to come out and hit the ball up too, because they do play in front. And yeah, they've just got to make the most of opportunities, and that was a nice kick for goal.
So Lauderdale, they move on to 3-4-22 to Clarence 5-1-31. It's 12 and 3/4 minutes gone in this second quarter of STJFL Grand Finals. It is Lauderdale in the red and the black versus their Eastern Shore rivals Clarence in the red and the white. Clarence have already been in a couple of Grand Finals. Oh, what's happened here? The umpire wasn't happy, got a bit overzealous.
I think there might be a bit of abuse going on out in the ground. So they've really just got to keep their mouth closed and get on with the game.
Well, we know one thing, the umpires that are out there are very experienced, and they won't take anything, and I think as that's consistent, the consistent line, hats off to them. So now coming in is Corbett. Corbett, a roundabout sort of action. He's trying to bring it from left to right. He can't do so, and they aren't punished for that 50 metres as it goes through just for the minor score. 10 points the difference. As Lauderdale take it from deep in their defensive area. Man in front there was Aziz.
That's good pace, isn't it, coming out of defence?
It is, so quickly playing in front. It's going to be another kick. That is Will Broomhall. He's only slight, but he's getting in the right positions. He's gone to that kick and probably just held that ball up a little bit too high and enabled Clarence to come over the top. Here is Aziz again. Swings onto his left boot, but coming out, taking a good mark in the defence, is Caleb Devine. Looking for some options. Devine drives that one.
3-on-1 there.
Oh, very, very strong mark by Bryce Alomes. Gee whiz, here's another 50. That's, I think that's about 4 this quarter, Pez.
Yep.
I don't know if that was over.
Not sure what's
getting over or what that was for. I can't quite get that. Let's have see if we can pick anything up. So we can see on the mark it was Bonnicher. He's just moved forward 1 or 2.
He's gone forward.
He has gone forward. So we can't hear, but one would assume that he sort of said, don't go forward.
Yeah, and he kept going.
And he kept going. So Alomes, who's been a very, very good defender. That is a big kick.
That was a magnificent kick, wasn't it?
Look at that. They absolutely threw it up the East Coast. The big Triabunna St Virgil's scholar has slotted that one through for a very, very nice goal. And
he's been very good, Bonnicher. Like, he's a good, strong, size midfielder too, isn't he?
Yeah,
been winning a fair bit of the footy.
So Clarence, like all good teams, they answer the call when the opposition gets a goal.
Yep.
They say, well, if that's what you've got, we're going to put a stop to it. And well played by them, as it's coming down now to the 16-minute mark of the second quarter. And gee whiz, Lauderdale wouldn't want to give up one here as they defend stoutly. And Ned Shaw takes that mark. Shaw swings it around, close to the boundary line, bursting their way through. Gee, that's a really good tackle by Ryan. And
he got boot to ball then, but anyway, obviously he didn't.
It's interesting you say that. I noticed in a previous game a few people were calling for ball, but they were the people had disposed on it, and so the umpire had paid that free kick as it comes back around. Overrunning it on that particular occasion was Devine, and Clarence now certainly do have the numbers in Corbett. Corbett comes back. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, that's an interesting one, Pez.
I thought it was a good contest.
Did seem a good contest.
Two guys just going at the footy. A bit unlucky then, I think.
So Rowlands went for the ball.
Might have had the high arm, but it was just body work. I wouldn't have thought that would have been a free kick. However, the umpires are being consistent.
No, he surely couldn't have missed.
I think no.
Oh, the way he swung his head back in disgust, I thought, my goodness, we've pumped young Thomas Murrell up for his accuracy, and that's his third goal in the quarter. He's really providing a good target. Let's have a look at the kick off the boot. Oh, it just went through.
Just went through, yeah.
But look at him, put his head down as if to say, oh, gee, oh dear, what have I done? And all clear. And Clarence again, well played. So that was Lewis Rowlands, who, as far as we were concerned, just probably a little bit unlucky there. It was seemingly a good contest. So Clarence now, gee whiz, this is really clear. They have doubled the score, 22-44, as the crowd getting behind their Bombers as Ned Shaw gets it inside 50. They need a clean pickup as Bonich is going towards the ball. Coming out further afield is Skelly. Skelly, who we know is a really good target. Held here a little bit too high. So the umpire had the better view from further away and has quite rightly come in and paid what he saw. And Clarence to repel another attack as coming out, taking the strong mark was Brycey Alomes. He's becoming a pivotal figure in this game, Pez.
He sure is.
Again, Lauderdale playing slightly behind. And it's just slight danger signs here, isn't there, as Lauderdale need to get some composure. They need someone to stand up for them and lead the way. It's coming back in there. They've got a bit of height. Look who's at the front of the pack. He swerves one way, goes the other, and you know he can kick the goal. And he has put it through. Thomas Murrell for his fourth goal in the quarter, Pairs.
He's been sensational, isn't he? I mean, he's taken a mark, free kick and ground level.
You could see that we had a fantastic view of this. As soon as he got it, I thought this is going to be the inside of the boot.
Watch how he positions himself here, though. He gets right to the front of the pack. He knows there's not going to be a marking option. He gets to the front and centre. Yep, just moves nicely. Yeah, he thought his way through that perfectly.
I think you just summed that up. He absolutely thought his way through it, didn't he?
Yep.
You know, I thought, can he go run round on his left? It might get smothered. There was just like a little corridor, and he went for it and cleverly dribbled it through. So now this is danger signs for Lauderdale as Clarence have moved on to 8-2-50. Lauderdale somewhat languishing behind on 3-4-22, and they've got their mitts on the ball again. So Lauderdale need to really hang tough as they go forward now. They need someone to clutch it. That loose man again.
Yep.
And it is Blake Marriott.
Yeah,
he's been fantastic
dominating
down back, hasn't he?
He's been a bit like Jeremy Howe was Friday night.
Yep. And gee whiz, didn't they play well, the old Maggies, and that would have warmed your heart, wouldn't it?
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And there is, close to the boundary line, Bryce Alomes goes for the ball. And I think that siren couldn't have come quick enough for the beachside suburb of Lauderdale just to gather their thoughts and composure as they go into half-time, trailing Clarence. As we just said, it's 3-4-22 to Lauderdale, 8-2-50. And what about that breakout performance in the second quarter? 4 goals to Thomas Murrell, singles to Jake Kemp, McMahon, Hine Haycock, and Bryce Alomes, the big, strong defender who had that beautiful kick for goal. And for Lauderdale, the very, very speedy Logan Hovington, the strongest of Zach Swan, and again, the elusive Jack Dolliver Pairs.
Yep. Yeah, Clarence just obviously got on a real roll that quarter, made the most of their forward entries. Murrell was very dangerous, but they've got a good forward setup. They've got plenty of space up there, so guys like Murrell can chip in there and kick those goals. Their back line was very good, repelled a lot of the Lauderdale attacks. Lauderdale was still certainly trying hard, gave away quite a few free kicks and 50-metre penalties, lost their focus there a little bit, but Lauderdale can still have plenty of heart knowing that they are more than competitive against Clarence, so they just need to refocus for the next quarter, start winning the ball from the middle of the ground, so probably getting beat at those centre bounces in that quarter then, Hoppy.
Yep.
And, things can turn around pretty quickly, but Clarence, they've really got on a bit of a roll that quarter, so the first 5 minutes of the third quarter will be very interesting.
Yep, I totally agree. And the only other thing just to add to your expert comments was just the Blake Marriott all but has been dominant down back, that loose man, and he has really provided the driving force. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a break here from the STJFL Grand Final for the under-15s. It's Lauderdale 22 trailing Clarence 50. We'll be back with the second half after this break. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for what is going to be absolutely pivotal quarter for the Lauderdale Junior Football Club in the under-15 position. It's Andrew Silverfox, Hopwood, and I'm joined by Darryn Perry and Pez. Really, it's super crucial for Lauderdale's prospects in this game that they get their hands on the onion and get force their way forward and get a couple of goals.
Yeah, absolutely, Hoppy. Look, they've had plenty of the footy, Lauderdale, but they haven't made the most of their opportunities, and Clarence going forward have been really sharp and a little bit more polished at this stage. But Lauderdale certainly have been going hard at it, and they've just got to make the most of their forward entries this quarter if they're to get back into this game.
Yes, and I'm sure Coach Broomhall would have probably mentioned the discipline factor. I think there were 4 or 5 maybe 50-metre penalties that they just can't afford to have happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, so again, it's been terrific in the ruck as Owen to their advantage, but Clarence come up with the ball. They drive it forward, coming out, and that's a really strong mark down back. Well done by Nichols. Nichols comes out directly in front of the commentary tower. Coming in late was Shaw, but beautifully skilled there was Matthew Brickick. He goes in towards that centre-half forward position. Running hard after that one is Lauderdale. They can't pick it up, and Clarence is there. Good tackle, held on a little bit long. The umpire said it was knocked out, and that was fair enough. Here's a big opportunity. That's a brilliant pick-up below their knees by Ryan. Ryan, I've really liked his game. Not only the way he's attacked the ball, but he's gone in and hard to tackle his opponent as well. It's close in the clinches in the first minute of play, third quarter, grand final, under 15s. It is Lauderdale in the black and red hoops, Clarence with the red and the white, predominantly white.
They need to get goals fairly quickly, Lauderdale. This would be suiting Clarence. Just a bit of a low on play at the moment. Lauderdale need to get a couple of quick ones to get back into this game.
So in it comes. Numbers there to Clarence. And another boundary throw in. And they won't mind this, just take their time.
Yep.
It's fascinating just even psychologically the mindset of your players when you are coming from behind here, Pezzo, if you think that you can have to become quicker, more desperate, and can mistakes come or momentum get you going? So it's going to be interesting to see which way it rolls as we cast our eye across the field. And can you notice any major positional changes out there, Pez?
No, look, I think everything's pretty much the same. Lauderdale have got a lot of open forward line. They've pushed up high, trying to strangle the Clarence forwards, but gee, that's a nice kick.
Gee, Clarence get the ball from that clearance and have absolutely drilled that one. I think that was Matthew Brickick. That was a magnificent, that's as good a kick at any level of football, Pez.
Yeah, he's had a very good game, young Matthew down there. I think he's been playing across half-back, midfield. That was a beautiful kick. Like, he went for the goals. He's about 50 out, but never looked in doubt.
Yeah, he kicked it from 50, kicked it hard and kicked it low and direct at the goals. You could see that the forwards had moved up and it went over the back, and they've drawn first blood, have Clarence. They move on to 9-2-56 to Lauderdale, 3-4-22. Brickick comes out towards the centre again. He's in his attempt to break through the pack. He's been held a little bit too long, according to the umpire, and he's going to take the free kick. Of course, we're normally up in the Peter Sharp Tower, Pezza, but we can see to the right of where we are, and we'll come back to that in a minute, as driving that ball forward was Corbett, comes over towards the back. Coming out now was Sculthorpe. It's Shaw who was injured in that attempt to spoil the ball. So Lauderdale just clear it as they bludgeon that ball forward. Comes out towards the open spaces of the wing. It's young Dolliver. Dolliver, who's been really effective down forward.
He's made the most of his opportunities, young
that's
Dolliver,
probably,
hasn't he?
Yep, he certainly has.
He doesn't fumble. He's very neat and clean.
But back to what I was talking about, Pez, just to the right of us is going to be that new communications building. That's just really coming along nicely here at North Hobart Oval.
My word, it is. At the Mecca Bowl, the best ground in Tasmania. It's good to have updated facilities.
Well, there you see, open forward line, and the swiftness of Broomhall was at the back, read that one very nicely, And he's breathed a little bit of life into Lauderdale.
Yep, gives them a bit of hope. They need to kick the next run fairly quickly. But good play there by young Broomhall. Didn't fumble.
That's the key, isn't it? In any standard of football, if you're listening out there, kiddies, the one thing you need to work on is just get that footy up against the side of the house and pick it up below your knees.
One touch player.
Yep, absolutely. And that was excellent play by Broomhall. He gave himself just that probably 1 metre advantage, and he couldn't afford to fumble, picked it up and was accurate on his kick across his left shoulder. So it was a goal, a much needed goal to the Lauderdale Bombers. They certainly are. The crowd are now sitting a little bit on the edge of their seat as Dolliver comes out. He's beaten to the ball on that particular occasion. Well played by Clarence. It's very close to the line. In fact, it has just gone over in front of the Roy Kazali stand, between the Roy Kazali stand and the Georgie Miller, which is the Ryde Street stand. And it comes. Howlett, beaten on this particular occasion, only goes as far as Hobington. We know he'll get on his bike. He drives it pretty quickly there. A big contest. And the umpire said both players were pushing and shoving. And the Clarence player took a nice mark as it comes to Brivik.
Beautiful left foot kick on him, hasn't he?
Oh,
look at that.
And he gets it out to the very strong Bryce Alomes.
He's played a very good game, this guy.
Alomes pushes that one towards the centre half forward position. Stretching up with the go-go gadget arms there. I thought he had no right to mark it, but that was Barnes. Terrific work by him. You can see there, I thought it had gone over the back. Barnes from 45. Bit of a wobbly old kick, but how did he get on his own there, Pez? Alex Steele came out and no one was in cooey.
There was a couple on their own, and that's what you've got to be careful. If there is a missed kick and you're in front, chances are you're going to get the footy, and that's exactly what he did then.
Every Clarence player near that contest was on the ball side. There wasn't a defender near them, and luckily for Lauderdale, they've been let off, and it's been missed, that shot. So getting it in now as it comes toward Hovington.
He's had a good game, Hovington.
Hovington's been very good. He's been an absolutely bright light for Lauderdale. So far has been a little bit dim as there is that rolling the dice. They decide they needed to come back into the attacking area of the ground, but it was pretty risky. You can see that there's been 1 or 2 changes as Rowland seems to be further up the ground than what he had been in previous, and that's a good pickup by Henderson. Henderson charges forward like a raging bull, but it's another strong mark for Clarence in defence.
There's been some terrific marks taken in this game, hasn't there, Hoppy? You know, some courageous marks, guys backing back into packs, keeping their eye on the footy. It's great to see juniors displaying those traits so early in their career.
And that's exactly right. And been clean ball that they've taken, not fumbled it, because these are developing young men, so it's a little bit harder for them, but they are taking one grab.
Skill level's been terrific.
So in that ruck, again, it's Howlett who moves on, comes out towards Alomes. Alomes lopingly drives that ball forward. It comes over towards Pearce. He can't take it. He's been well backed up by Nichols. Comes out towards the goal sneak in Murrell, who affects the handball back to the advantage of Corbett. They're teaming up nicely and they're pretty loose down here. Just a little bit too much weight on that one. And it's gone up a gee whiz. They teamed up well at their pairs.
Yeah, they're a little bit loose in their back line, aren't they, Lauderdale? There's a lot of free Clarence players running around there, so they just need to man up a bit tighter.
So there's plenty of space on what is the open or fat side of the ground, but of course Lauderdale need to get it there, and to do that is high risk. Comes over to Brivik again. He's been very creative in this quarter. Another tackle, and they've got loose players, but they can't get it out to him as Lauderdale go out to that open side. But Clarence are really awake to that. They've got numbers behind the ball. They're fighting hard, Lauderdale, but not as much system at this stage as Clarence. And it's going to be another ball up. Yeah, I like what Clarence are doing when they're dropping off their men, Pezza. They're sort of working their way to where they think that ball will go, and 9 times out of 10, that's exactly where it does go. Yep. So now it's back towards Lauderdale, and the umpire has seen an infringement, and it's going to go to Clarence for a high tackle.
Wouldn't mind seeing the free kick count, Hoppy.
It certainly has favoured the Roos. There is no doubt about that, but in fairness, they're the ones prepared to go in and get the ball.
Get in front first, you'll get those ticky-tack free kicks.
Yep. Because that's kind of how it's been rolled for most of the day, so that's why it has been to the advantage of the Roos at this stage. As Clarence pick it up, swung round towards the goal, and cleverly just going back, taking a mark.
This is where they're really struggling at the moment, aren't they, Hoppy? Bring their ball out of defence.
Yep.
They just can't get any run, anything happening. Oh, it's a lovely mark.
So it was Sculthorpe who came out, but this man taking a strong mark was Thomas Brivik. It was Matthew Brivik, I dare say they're brothers, who's now taken a strong mark. His brother, we know, is a long left foot kick. Let's have a look here.
And his brother's a left footer, this one's a right footer.
Oh, that's a good,
it's a big kick,
looking kick of plenty of distance. Just gone to the side and through for the minor score. It is Lauderdale 4-4-28 to Clarence 9-4-58. Now Lauderdale taking their time on this build-up. It's halfway through this third quarter. It's becoming somewhat crucial that Lauderdale can start to hit the scoreboard. Just hanging on isn't good enough at this stage when you are trailing by 30 points in a grand final. It's do or die. There is no next week. Rowland's pushing his way to the bottom of the pack. Desperate stuff there by the Clarence boys, and it was Thomas Brivik who did the right thing and got that smother. It's going out towards the offensive side for Clarence. There was 1 against 3. That means there's spare players somewhere else. Excuse me. Tackled without the ball. And it was there, Pez. We saw it right there as Nichols put the arm out in an attempt to stop the Clarence player getting to the ball. And the free kick was coughed up.
He's a skillful player, this Matthew Brick. A beautiful kick on him.
He's gone to that area of danger. Another whistle. And I really don't know what this one's for. But it's going to Thomas Pears. I think he played in front.
So maybe from the Lauderdale crowd.
Yeah, I don't think they're too happy. We had a couple of the Brains Trust come up and ask us for some statistical information on our laptops, and it certainly has favoured Clarence. And as we said to them, they're playing in front, they deserve to get the kicks. As Owen was there, but he's been out-bustled on this particular occasion and going for. Oh, that's a terrific mark. Great courage, and you can't pay the advantage because the mark was paid. And who's that? I think that was Gabriel Nichols. He's taken a couple of good marks like that, Pez.
Yeah, he's a likely type, isn't he? He's going to be a very good player. There's no question about that.
The fascinating thing, although they're only young men at under 15, it could be a couple of years and we could see these fellows in senior company.
Absolutely. 2 years' time, they could be playing senior footy.
It's been amazing to watch the evolution of the games that we've seen here today, from 13s, 14s to 15s.
Yeah.
Just the growth in these young fellows.
I like this young kid. Look at that beautiful kick again.
Yeah, Matthew Brick, he's a beauty. And now it comes to Clarence, and they have got proverbial acres as they come back in board now. Lauderdale pick it up. They need to be clean, as they are. Well played. Foot to ball. Hard contest there. Both men running at each other. It was Menzies who was outdone as racking up the possessions. It's not just racking them up, Pez, it's what he does with the ball.
Yeah.
It was Brick again. Comes back towards, I think that might be Hooker. Hooker comes back across that outer side, and taking a strong mark is Howlett. Howlett desperate to move that ball on quickly. Broomhall, only a small fellow, but he did the right thing and he competed really hard, and he goes hard yet again at the bottom of that pack, trying to push that ball forward at all costs. They can't sue, and Clarence, this will suit them nicely now, that given the advantage that they have, Pez, that they don't mind if the game is slowed down on their terms.
No, that Lauderdale certainly throwing everything at Clarence, but they're certainly withstanding the pressure very good, and they haven't broken him yet, and don't look like breaking Clarence. They just look too good at this stage.
They just seem to have composure all around the ground, and when one player steps up, someone might they're just taking it in turns right across the ground. As Broomhall leads out, he got not a very favourable bounce for a man that attacked the ball with such determination. That swung round there by the Roos, and pushing their way forward is Nichols. He's being all but assaulted at the bottom of the pack through weight of numbers. Very determined effort. At the bottom of the pack, it was Richardson for the Roos. As we can see there, Coach Broomhall trying to move those magnets around, and if a couple of moves don't come off, Pez, he just might need Panadol. You know, it's
sure
troubling times.
Everything he can, but you're not good enough, you're not quite good enough, but certainly hasn't been through lack of effort by Lauderdale.
Was that Harry Cornelius has just kicked that one around? We're going to probably have a look at the Mood Food replay. I think it was Cornelius or Kemp. Well, let's have another look at this one. We can see it came in, not the greatest of bounces. Yeah, it was 41 Harry Cornelius.
Lovely kick.
Wasn't it? He just dropped off his man and it just fell in his lap. And he turned around and he had the great foresight to swing it toward the goal and put it through. It's early stages of the game, Pez, are in that it's only 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, but I'd suggest to you this is almost an unassailable lead. They don't look like being toppled, do they? It's Clarence 10-4-64, Lauderdale 4-4-28.
Yeah, Lauderdale's thrown everything at Clarence, and Clarence have certainly given far more back in spades, haven't they? They've been able to repel, they've been able to absorb the pressure from Lauderdale and actually kick goals at the same time. So it's going to be really hard to get over the top of this Clarence side. They're a class unit, but here's an opportunity possibly for Lauderdale as they go forward.
Yes, really working hard with Skelly. It is in within 10 metres. Oh, like a thief in the night, just snuck that ball from the bottom of the pack, and inadvertently it's pushed it across the goal and just through for the minor score. But much better play there from the Bombers.
Yep.
So Clarence taking that one. Of course, that's one of the new rules that have been instigated, Pezza. It's you don't even use that 10-metre square. What do you think of that rule?
I think it's a good rule. It gets the game moving a lot quicker.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Quite rightly, it sort of gets it. Sometimes you can't bottle it up and keep it in there. You can sort of run it out and gain that bit of momentum out of the back line as Lauderdale push that ball forward. Comes down towards Pears and going back, and they're just doing a great job. That was McGee for Clarence. McGee goes further afield to Aziz. Aziz taps that one over cleverly. He's up against two opponents, and he did a good job there to keep that ball toward the boundary line. Good defensive work by him and for Clarence. As the time is ticking down, it's 16.5 minutes gone.
They need to get a goal here, don't they, Hoppy?
Oh, absolutely.
They need a goal here to be a chance.
They certainly need one, and get a centre break and go forward again, but absolutely crucial that they can claw their way back and get into the 30s, get a little bit closer on the scoreboard as they mount another attack towards this grand final in the last quarter. So 17 minutes gone. It's Lauderdale. Well played by Tommy Moore. Gets the handball over, swinging around. Nice play by Pears as they go out further. And just taking their time now. It's Hovington. Hovington, long kick, raking kick. No one goes up for Lauderdale. Now they do. Coming around, working their way was Swan, who we know can take a strong mark. He's been good when he's been on the lead, but when the kick comes in like that, it makes it pretty tough, Pez.
Yep, sure does. And look, he's certainly worked hard. The Clarence defenders have been terrific since halfway through the first quarter.
So Clarence now, again, they do a really good job getting it towards the boundary line. That's Shaw. Ned goes further afield towards Pears, and Pears takes another strong mark. You can see what's in front of him. He's probably 40 metres out on his left foot. He thought to himself, well, I can't get that mark. So there's been an infringement off the ball. And Max Skelly, let's have a look at this one, Pez. We can see the ball comes in, Skelly's in front. Oh, you can see the defender had an arm around, and the umpire said unfairly before the ball came in, put him off the play, and Skelly, well, to say he needs to kick this one is an understatement. He's, 15 metres out, no angle to speak of. Stuttery run up on his left boot. holds his nerve and drives that one through, Pez. That's a good kick.
Gives them hope. You know, it's 30 points now, just under, so there's still a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kick the next one and they're a big chance.
So that will certainly build belief as the ball will come back in the middle as we just see it be driven through for a goal. So it is Lauderdale trying to claw their way back into the grand final. They are 5-5-35. Clarence, they are 10 goals for 64. We are just encroaching in towards the end of this third quarter, only 30 seconds. So seeing someone get a quick centre break and take a mark, and slipping at the crucial time, and it could be Clarence as they go inside their 50 again, and they do.
It's a nice one.
They get up, and what a great vertical leap taken there by Cornelius. What's happened? I think it's been overturned. It has. We can see here, ball came in. Not sure what that was for.
No. They've certainly been very ticky-touch with some of those free kicks, haven't they, Hoppy? A bit hard to understand some of those, but it may be for something else, I'm not sure.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is three-quarter time, so no more to the last time we said the score. Lauderdale, 5-5-35, Clarence, 10-4-64 for the Roos. No goals that time by Morrell. He kicked all those 4 goals in the second quarter. Cornelius, Kemp, McMahon, Hine, Haycock, Brickick and Alomes, and for Lauderdale, Broomhall, Skelly, Hovington, Swan and Dolliver, Pez.
Yeah, look, Lauderdale threw everything at Clarence that quarter, but Clarence was certainly good enough to withstand that. They look a lot better going forward. Centre clearances are just critical. You've seen the quick one there from Clarence. They've got good marking forwards when they do go up there. Lauderdale's trying really hard, but they're not moving the ball as well as what Clarence are. Matthew Brick had a really good quarter, that one, and he was probably one of the difference in the midfielders there, but you would think that Clarence would hold on. They just look a little bit too good, but you never know if Lauderdale get a couple of clearances early in this next quarter. They could swing their way, but at this stage, Clarence look like they're going to go on and win the premiership.
Well, there you hear it from our expert, Darryn Perry. So thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a short break here at three-quarter time in the under-15 grand final. It is Lauderdale 5-5-35, trailing Clarence 10-4-64. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It all comes down to this. The last 20 minutes of football for season 2019 for the under-15 division in the STJFL. Lauderdale have got all the work in front of them. They're trailing. They are on 35. Clarence on 64. Pezza, what do they need to do to get back into the game?
Well, they need to win the first 2 centre clearances and kick 2 goals very quickly. If they don't do that, I think the game's out of their reach.
Absolutely. They've had just as much the ball, but Clarence have just had that little bit more polish. And it's been fascinating to watch the evolution of that team, because they've changed the way they've gone about it. Someone stepped up to the plate in nearly every single quarter. As the ball now goes forward, Lauderdale going to try and do everything in their power to get up in this game. In the first game, we had Clarence North Hobart, with North Hobart getting up. Clarence North Hobart again, where the tables were turned and Clarence got the chocolates. And Clarence seemingly in a dominant position in this game as they strive to pick that one in, as Maxi Skelly went over the top. Backing back, going in again is Menzies. Third and fourth efforts. But Clarence with some great evasive skills as it comes towards Bryce Alomes, who we've really liked the way he's gone about his work. It's over the back towards McMahon, who was a goal scorer. Back further afield to Matthew Brickick on his wrong side, Pez, which is nice to see left footers go on the wrong side. They don't normally like to do that.
He got good purchase on that. I mean, he ran out of bounds in the full, but he obviously can kick both feet, judging by the way he got that purchase on his boot then. For
the young kiddies playing, you need to be able to, get onto that wrong side, otherwise you become very, very predictable, and it's a strong mark by Clarence again. They seem to have all the answers, as Jake Kemp.
Very good marking tools, haven't they, Clarence?
They have. It came over to dangerous spot. Good tackle there by Lauderdale. But here is Murrell. We know he will certainly work his way here towards the goals. He's certainly got an eye for that. Good team play by him on that particular occasion. It's Devine who gets the ball, trying to barge his way through. Been deemed to be holding it too long and not disposing of it correctly. And the free kick ensues towards Clarence. Back inside 50. I think that might be a mark to Kemp. Gee whiz, it is.
Yep.
He's got a good vertical leap, Pez, hasn't he?
He certainly has. I mean, him and Cornelius up there, both really tall kids that take good marks. Hard to stop, and you know, they've been pivotal in Clarence having this lead. Been great players for them today.
Look at that. The big man dropped back in Kobe Howlett, and he just went up with that big one arm, and you probably, to get over someone like Kemp, it might be all but prudent to just play maybe a metre off and then run and jump in, because he's got a great leap if you try and stand beside him. So Moore takes the free kick from deep in defensive area, decides to go to that defensive side, Pez, and they've absolutely got to attack either straight down the middle or this side of the ground. And the whistle's gone again, and if it is over there, that'll certainly...
They've got to come through the middle now. They should be going out that side.
Got to go to handball. They do so. Picked up, another smother. Clarence are running with a good deal of confidence now. Really strong, and that's a better kick. They have the advantage toward the ball. Pushing it forward. Oh, good, strong tackle there. Hovington has had a cracker of a game. He's looked a very good player.
Certainly been one of their best, if not their best.
So Hovington, look at this, driving it down. They've got to compete. That's where they've probably been let down slightly. They've gone that really long kick, and Clarence have got all the numbers down there, and again, they've cleared it, but not too far. I'm not sure if that looks like Pears, I think, who has taken the mark.
I think it's Henderson.
It is Henderson. Thank you, Pez. Henderson driving it. Need a big, strong mark. Oh, they can't do so. Bryce Alomes, he has had a cracker of a game down back.
Look at that boy go. Wasn't that great play?
That was terrific play. And look out, it comes over the back. There was Pears, the man I miscalled just a few moments ago. He tried to slam that one as Murrell, we know. He'll be creative and find someone. Gets back towards the big man in Howlett. Howlett goes towards the wing position. The umpire has deemed that there's been a hold in play against Corbett. Just trying to push the ball forward. Over the ball. Just pushed off it was Menzies. And so again, Clarence going forward, but that's a lovely mark. Judging it the best, and Caleb Devine takes that mark. Goes onto his left boot in an attempt to find Owen. They're moving it on quickly, but they're maybe not going for those options, as we saw the injury just a few minutes ago to Menzies. They're under pressure. Good bump there by Lauderdale. Excellent work by Rowlands, who's been moved out. Comes to shore. Nice looking kick, and defensive work to smother. Didn't quite hang on to that one, and he needed to. He needed to be very clean with his hands there as Moore picks it up. Moore's been tackled and holding the ball. Gee, he was swamped, wasn't he then?
Yeah, good tackling by Clarence. Both sides have tackled really well. There hasn't been much time once you've got the ball out there before you're swamped, that's for sure.
That's what happens in the grand finals, doesn't it? It just picks up the pace.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. It's close to the boundary line, and it's his 5 minutes gone, so 15 minutes to go in the under-15 boys grand final. Good throw in. Goes to the advantage of the Roos again, and the only reason it's to the advantage because they're running really hard, picking it up, moving the ball forward. Good knockout. Lauderdale rushing toward the ball. Clarence again with numbers, just trying to boot it out. Good smother by Henderson. He's doing a couple of nice passages here. Broomhall running hard. Hovington is also coming in, but they've just got numbers as Shaw goes up and takes a cracker. He decides to play on to Shaw. He kicks towards the goal, and that's a great team lifter by Ned Shaw.
Great play by Ned Shaw.
I love the way he just only had eyes for the ball. As we'll have another look at this one. Have a look at this mark. He's taken that, and look what he's done. Just pushed off, taken it, and kicked it from 40 metres.
And that's what they need to do, don't they, Hobby? They need to take a few risks. They're only 4 goals down now. If they get the next one straight away, well, who knows? It's game on. So they need to take those risks. They need to play on, get the ball on the forward line quickly. There's no other way.
So there we are. The Skybus Bombers really needed that goal, and a fantastic performance there, individual performance by Ned Shaw. Oh, they got a big tap out, as we can see, but again, Clarence have the loose one down back, goes towards Henderson. Excuse me. Henderson, he's been pushed off that one. And
this
that's
kid's a good player, isn't he? Connor Ryan, big, strong-bodied midfielder.
He is, as Ryan. Now it comes foot through. That's Joshua Barnes. It's Lauderdale just streaming out of the defensive area, and casual as you like, taking that mark. There's nothing on, so bombing it forward. Which way is it going to bounce? And Lauderdale,
here's a chance.
Just run towards the goals. They need to. They had the numbers, but they all went for the ball. And Hovington, he goes back to get it, and there is an opportunity gone, Pez.
Yeah.
Good work by Clarence.
Good defence by Clarence.
So it was the man who really starred in that last quarter was Brick, and he just showed great temperament to settle that one down. As Rowlands is over the ball, very close towards the boundary lines. It comes out towards that man I just spoke of. Hooker gets it. Hooker screws it back in towards the centre of the ground. Coming out hard is Studley. It's Moore who just comes forward. It is Shaw again. You know he's going to be able to run with it. He goes onto his wrong side as he moves the ball forward, and it's a strong mark on the lead, and well played by Broomhall. Broomhall has already got a goal, Pez, so you might think he's a chance, although it'd be right on his distance, I would have thought. So he's taking his time as he comes in. We are directly behind this one. He kicks. It's a good-looking kick. Oh, it hits the post.
Unlucky.
Oh, that looked a goal for all money, didn't it?
Did he even started to celebrate?
I thought he actually went the early crow.
He did, yes. Don't blame him. It looked like it was all the way through, but a few good signs by Lauderdale. They are attacking hard now. So.
And we can almost sense the crowd are just sort of edging towards the front of their seats, thinking that maybe that they can come back from this impregnable position that Clarence find themselves in as they go in again, looking for someone on the lead. They do so, but the ball comes loose. Lauderdale, they've got the numbers back there. If Clarence, it rolls towards the line, and a minor score. So it is Lauderdale doing a bit of attacking. 6-7-43, Clarence 10-4-64. Ball comes back in. Oh, strong mark by Alomes. He's a beauty, isn't he?
Oh, he's a ripper, yeah. Absolute star.
Bryce Alomes, as I say, he's a native from Triabunna.
Yeah, he's the sort that now in 2 or 3 years' time will be playing senior footy for Clarence, you'd expect.
Yes.
Or Mariners, I suppose.
Yep, that'll be the next thing. So it's Rowlands who picks it up from down back. And he certainly is a no-nonsense sort of player. He gets it, and his eyes are transfixed like a train on the tracks, and he just goes straight forward, doesn't he? Throw in now. Comes over the back towards Nichols. It is Murrell who gets a couple of kicks forward. Again, Pears gets that kick. Hooker now leading towards the ball. He goes back in and under to get it. He's very determined to hold onto that ball so it doesn't come out, and the umpire has decided to claim it and have a throw up. So it's halfway through the last quarter, although Lauderdale have been very gallant in this last quarter, Pez. They haven't got full reward for their forward thrusts, have they?
They've certainly tried hard. But Clarence are holding up pretty well also. But Lauderdale, they won't go away, will they? But Clarence just got that, obviously, that handy lead at 3/4 time, but just a little bit too good.
Yep, so it is Brickick who is going to take this one, and I think it is Thomas this time, so he's the right footer.
Yep.
Not on the right side for him, so it'll take a good kick from here. He needs to move this ball sort of Favola style, left to right. Tell you what, he started it well, but it's swinging back the other way. The way he sort of he dropped at the hip, didn't he? Just sort of on the left side. So the kick, naturally with the momentum and the arc of his leg, was always going to go that side. So Lauderdale said, well, there's no mucking around. There's no additional time. We've got to go right down the middle. So Nichols pushes that ball forward, comes over the back. Running hard is Henderson. He's nearly at the ball now. He needs some assistance. He gets a handball out to Broomhall. Broomhall comes in, but standing tall. And for me, Blake Marriott's been a colossus down back, hasn't he?
You talk about that courage award. The courage he's shown in defence has been incredible, hasn't it? Particularly when it was hot in the second and third quarter. Stopped a lot of attacks by Lauderdale.
Yeah, he certainly has. Comes back towards Broomhall. Came outspilled. It's Moore fighting hard to keep the ball in. As he goes down, he takes a couple with him. They certainly haven't given this one away, as they just couldn't break it from Clarence, who are very, very determined. They know that Lauderdale are coming hard at them, and they're holding for very firm. So it's Lauderdale trying to get the ball out. Oh, they do so, but it's going across the goal, and it'll be another boundary throw-in. So it's nearly 13 minutes gone in the under-15 grand final here at North Hobart Oval. It is Lauderdale 6-7-43, trailing Clarence 10-5-65.
If they can jag one here, Lauderdale, there's still a chance.
And this will really suit Clarence, I would have thought, Pez. Just they're soaking valuable minutes off the clock. Of course, in the under-15 division, it's 20-minute quarters with no time added on. Ball comes in. Oh, here's a good-looking snap. It's going close towards the goals. I think that was young Zach Swan, who was very determined. What's happened?
It must have been touched, I think.
He's looking back. He can't believe what has happened. We'll have to have a look in the Mood Food replay in just a few moments. I already put the pen out, Pez. Anyway,
clear from here, but obviously we must have missed something of it.
Okay, now it's Nichols who goes forward, and here he is again, taking a strong mark is Swan, and Swan now going back. He understands the gravity of this kick, and he's not taking a great deal of time, because it's something that he hasn't had the luxury of having anymore.
No.
Let's have a look at his kick. He's been a very good player for Lauderdale. With that pendulum style, he's pushed it from right to left. So that's the last three kicks have all been minor scores, which has been crucial for the assault that they've been pushing up to try and get at Clarence's lead. And with every shot that misses, Pez, it seems another opportunity missed.
Yeah, it does.
And the way the game's been going, that Clarence, who haven't been down inside their 50 for a little while, are just as likely to get it in and get a goal.
Yep.
Let's see how they go. They do so. They go inside the 50, and the man in front is Thomas Brickig again, and he'll go back on where before he was on the wrong side for the right footer.
Yep.
This will suit him perfectly. It's all but directly in front or just to his side. So if his kicking style is the same as before, Pez, he'll just aim it inside that right-hand post, and it'll make its way towards the middle.
Lauderdale need to kick a goal on that last Farrar up there, but obviously they didn't, so this one would make it really virtually impossible if he kicks this. Oh, he's missed it.
Well, he's still got a little bit of life in the game. As that one again, he was consistent, if nothing else, on those last two kicks that they went from right to left. They're coming out.
Some tired boys out there now, Hobby. They've certainly given it 100%, haven't they, both sides today?
Oh, I'm talking of tired boys and things that big men don't lose any height, do they? And Brycey Alomes just stood up really nice and tall then and took a clutch mark to repel that attack that came in from Lauderdale. It was Hooker at the bottom of the pack for the Dale. Sculthorpe comes out towards the boundary line. That's Shaw, who's been a dominant force for Lauderdale, but he needed a few more helpers. Here they go. They're trying to pick it up. Going back in to get it again is Nichols. He's been a beauty for Lauderdale. Onto that side was Bonnicher. Bonnicher was clever to Broomhall. Broomhall driving it forward. They need someone up. But backing back was Blake Marriott to take a strong mark. He's played that position. We've said that infinitum throughout the telecast, but he's been a powerhouse down back. as Brickick takes that long raking kick. And Brycey Alomes, gee whiz, he's just getting better as the game is going longer.
Hoppy, you'd have to get the chocolates for best on ground.
Oh, he's been so good. We noticed up there, life member of the STJFL, Greg Dickens, sits up there. He's got all the data in front of him. He's got his laptop out and he takes notes consistently. So we'll leave that title to him to bring it out. Of course, we'll have a very strong opinion though, Pez, as the ball rolls end over end. It's Tristan Sculthorpe who's down back, who stands there very patiently, and he goes again, picks it up, but it's just rolled towards the boundary line, and it's all but gone over. And I think it's a task a little bit too far away from here.
Yep, 3 minutes, 4 goals they need, so you couldn't see that happening. So, but they're still fighting it out, which is great to see by the young fellas for Lauderdale.
Well, if you follow the reputed the best footballer of all time, Lee Matthews, he always talks of minutes and goals, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, yeah.
And so once you get inside that, you can start to breathe a little bit easier. So the Skybus Bombers, they're working their way around this boundary line again. As you say, they never give up. Backing back, here's a chance of a good handball. They need a block. Comes out towards Broomhall. A little snap towards the goal, and that's sort of been the tale of the last quarter, hasn't it? Shots on goal for not a great reward, and it is Lauderdale who move on by a smaller margin by just the 1 point. They go on to 6-10-46. Clarence 10-6-66.
Both sides had the same scoring shots, but obviously Clarence just a little bit more polished.
Yes, Hovington showing a little bit of frustration there. Well cleared by Marriott. Comes out towards the dominant force that is Bryce Alomes. Here is Henderson trying to run towards the goal. Now's a chance as it's Dolliver. Dolliver goes in towards the goals again. He's very effective around that area, but that particular time, just a little bit of pressure was applied as he kicked it, Pez.
Good pressure by the Clarence defender, wasn't it? Just enough to put him off kicking for goal.
Nice kick in, out to that open space, and on the defensive side as Corbett leads to the ball. Coming through hard, as he's done in all day, was Rowlands, but neutralised that play, and it'll be another throw in. So only seconds away from the ecstasy that is a victory in a grand final for the Clarence Roos. Unfortunately for the Bombers, they didn't bring their A game today. Well, having said that, they weren't allowed to play it, Pez.
No, look, they've tried very hard, but they've just lacked that skill of Clarence. Clarence have played very well. They've had some really good players all over the ground, but Lauderdale, to their credit, they've tried hard, just missed a lot of opportunities early to sort of come back to hurt them a little bit, hasn't it, towards the end of the game?
Absolutely. It's Clarence now, just taking their time.
But take nothing away from Clarence, they've been terrific today.
Coming over the pack, umpire said held without the ball, and with only seconds to go, Clarence have it in their sights. Can you get down into the forward line, and reaching up, taking a strong mark was Cornelius. But the siren has gone here, ladies and gentlemen, for the under-15 grand final. And running out victors were Clarence. 10-6-66 to Lauderdale, 6-12-48. For the victors, it was Thomas Murrell had that explosive second quarter with his 4 goals. And then it was an even spread with Cornelius, Kemp, McMahon, Hine, Haycock who got the first one, Matthew Brickick and Bryce Alomes. And for the vanquished, it was Ned Shaw, Broomhall, Skelly, Hovington, Swan and Dolliver. And Pez, for you, who were some of the players that you thought really stood out?
Look, both sides had some really good players. I thought for Clarence, the standout for me was Alomes. Bryce Alomes, number 54, thought he was probably best on ground. Murrell with his 4 goals was important, particularly in that second quarter. Also some really good players in Cornelius up forward, Jake Kemp up forward, Blake Marriott was really good. Connor Ryan, the strong-bodied midfielder, had a terrific game, and so did the Brick brothers, Matthew Brick and Thomas for Clarence. I thought they were very good. Clarence, we spoke about Swan was very good, Shaw was very good, Hovington was lively early. Skelly looks a dangerous forward. Henderson
had a lot of grunt midfield.
He's a strong player, isn't he?
And young Rowlands in the back line, number 9, also battled hard all day.
Yeah, he did. Like I say, he's a no-nonsense sort of straight-ahead fellow. So they go away from that game. They were very even throughout. Clarence had beaten them twice, but they were close encounters. But on the main dance, Clarence have come away with that victory. So we're going to have the presentation just shortly. So we're going to have a quick break now and then go down to our presentation. We hope you've enjoyed the under-15s. Now, whatever you do, don't go away, because we've got one more grand final to bring you, and that is the under-16 and a halves very shortly.
Congratulations to the Clarence team on being premiers for the 2019 season. So well done to the Clarence team. I'd now like to call on Mark Waddington to come forward to present the medallions to the umpire team for today's grand final.
Thank you. Congratulations to both teams, the way in which the game was played. Commiserations to Lauderdale. Congratulations, Clarence. Congratulations to the umpires, who today there was the culmination of their year's work. If I could call them up, present them with their medals. In goals, Wade Stewart, Dylan Scott. Our boundary umpires, Madison Chapman and Will Wood. Field umpires, Caleb Burkery, James Burke, Matthew Scott, and the emergency, Hudson Arkley.
Once again, thanks for the umpires for participating in this great game of ours. Now I'd like to call on Andrew Hopwood to make the presentation for the Courage Medal, which is for the most courageous player in the grand final. And that player has been adjudged as Blake Marriott. Well done, Blake. I now invite the Lauderdale coach, Adrian Broomhill, to come forward to say a few words.
Firstly, thanks to everyone at the STJFL and anyone else in the background that helps the footy world go round. That includes parents and everyone else that's involved, so thanks to everyone. Clarence, well done. Struggled with numbers and bits and pieces throughout the year, but got your game right towards the end of the season when it really counted, and showed a fairly fine display out here today, so well done, boys. To our boys, I'm incredibly proud of the effort that you guys have put in this year. We've turned our football into something that's a lot more structured, and unfortunately the opposition we came against today just had a little bit on us when it counted. But keep your heads up, because I know everyone standing around here is incredibly proud, as I am, and we're going to enjoy the off-season before we think about footy again. Thanks, guys.
Now for the presentation of the best player on the ground medal, and that goes to Clarence player Bryce Holmes. I now invite the Clarence coach, Neil Clark, to come forward and have his opportunity to say some words.
Firstly, thanks to the STJFL for putting on the event again. It's been a really great outcome, especially the weather-wise, compared to what was going on yesterday. To Broomer and your boys, really stellar effort this year. I know that your competitive demons are burning pretty hard right now, but your level of commitment, Broomer, to this team in particular, for a very long period of time is second to none. So, mate, congratulate your effort you've put in, and where your boys are heading, they're definitely going in the right direction. Also, too, for the other teams that have been in this final series, Nathan from North and Tomo from Claremont, the level of closeness of this final series has been absolutely ridiculous. And those boys too, I think, would deserve special mention because they've been putting a hell of a lot of time to their respective clubs, and it's been a great effort on their behalf as well. Over to our side, I'd really like to thank our two presidents of this year, Kylie and Arch. They've done a ton of work, as always, and they're the backbone of what really gets our teams to where we are today. So I'm very thankful of our presidents, to our boys and the support crew. We've had a really different journey this year compared to years gone past, and we all backed this from the start. I asked the boys to take a real ownership of this year, and then they did that from day one, and I was really happy to be the person that they took along for the ride this year as coach. So great job to you boys, really deserved and couldn't be prouder of you, so thank you.
We now invite Nobby to call out the players to receive their premiership medallions.
Okay, first off the list, number 31 is Zach Clark. Number 32, Thomas Murrell. While he can't come up and accept a medal today, he's been every bit a part of this adventure this year, and he was out there in spirit with us today, and that was number 32, Samuel Chivers. So thanks, Sammy, wherever you are. Here we go, he's getting up here. Good on you. Number 34, Alex Steele. (36) Bailey Aziz. Good mate. (37) Mac Massey. (39) Joel Corbett. Number 40, Trent Mallison. (41) Harry Cornelius. 43 Jake Kemp. 45 our captain Blake Marriott. 46 Connor McGee. 47 Connor Ryan. 48 Charlie McMathon. Close. 49 Benjamin Anning. 50 Big Zach Haycock. 51 Matthew Burkick. 52 Joshua Barnes. 53 Thomas Burkick. 54 Bryce Alomes.
Paddy.
56, Tassie Richardson. And Paddy, I don't know why your number's not in here, buddy, but Paddy Kenner. Thank you. That's it for me, boys, isn't it?
One for the coach. Congratulations. Well done. Good effort. Put this head on. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shut up, Charles.
Yeah.
And to present the Premiership Cup, we'd like the captain and the coach to come forward. Cripps STJFL 2019 Under 15 Premiers, Clarence.
Give us something, Nobby! Well,
Yeah, boys!
say go Roos! Go Roos! No, louder than that. 1, 2, 3! Go Roos! Hurry up!